Hello and welcome back to Holistic Within. We've been talking about love for the past few weeks, and we'll explore a little bit more what Storge is made out of. In the past few weeks, we've been talking about Storge is the basic kind of love, the one that we come pre-programmed with, and we are supposed to shed that kind of love to outgrow it, but we don't know how, and we end up bouncing back and depending on it. And then all kinds of chaotic things happen in our lives because we never grew that kind of love. But if you haven't watched the first 3 videos, I would recommend you to go back and watch them so that you can learn more about Storge and then get the topic that we have for right now, which is Philia and Eros, a little bit better. So Storge is made out of two kinds of love, at least 2. One is the kind of love that is the love that I know. Is what I am familiar with. It is the love of what I have. And then Eros is the love of what I don't have. The love of what I don't know is commonly referred to as desire. Desire is a love for something that you don't possess or that you don't understand or know. And they are, we're taught to use them in different places. From the moment that we're born with a kind of love that it's all mixed in there automatically by our subconscious, by our psyche. But then as soon as we start to experience life in this earth, we find out that we have to split it. And we split it in the love of what I have versus the love that I don't have. And we see this in kids, like let's say a 2-year-old kid, that he is here with mom and dad. And he loves mom and dad. That's what he has. And he loves what he has. But then out there in the park, there is a potential new friend. And there is the promise of joy and playing with new toys or things out there. And he wants to pull apart from mom and dad. He wants to step away from the love that he knows and go into the world of the love that he doesn't know, the world that it's out there just waiting for him to discover it. And to be alive, it means to discover things. So he has to do it. This baby, he has to step away or tear himself apart from mom and dad. As much as he loves them, he has to walk away and find that new friend and play with those new toys because they look so awesome. And then, but he's first time he's like, should I leave him? Should I not leave him? And this is where the process of attachment comes, into play, because he wants that. He wants this, but he wants that. And he doesn't know how to do it. But anyway, he learns that the love of desire, Eros, is there and Philia is here. And he has to continue learning this fact that love of desire is there and the love of what I know is here. And basically that's what a kid goes through his whole first 10 or 12 years of his life. He has to separate the love of desire and the love of familiarity, the love of what he knows. And this comes especially true when this kid reaches his teenage years, because now he loves mom, but he doesn't desire mom. He desires that new girl that just moved into his block or into his school. And he starts to discover that love is here, but desire is there. And it's it's kind of weird, but that's what he has been learning throughout his whole life. And then this kid reaches time for his first love, and he falls in love with a girl, and the girl falls in love with him. And this new couple, they're ecstatic. They are in ecstasies because it's the first time in their lives where love and desire have come together. They love each other and they desire each other. And that's what gives them the spark, and they become inseparable. The problem here is that it was their subconscious mind, the one that threw them into the pool of love, into a state of love, and they fell in love. So it's not a creation of their conscious side, it's a creation of the subconscious side. And that's why we see couples that they find each other based on the faults of their own. And you see, well, you know, he found a girl that has a lot of the same traits as his mom, or she found a boyfriend that has a lot of the same traits or the same characteristics as her own dad. And it's in a subtle way, it's in ways that they're not gonna see it, but it's there because they're trying to cover up their own faults. Instead of this teenage kid trying to understand his own faults, his own shortcomings, he finds somebody that is going to fill those voids up. And now he doesn't have to work with himself because now somebody's there to kind of paint over his own faults, and he's going to paint over her own faults. And that's all the doings of the psyche, because the psyche or the subconscious mind does not want to grow. It cannot grow by itself. We have to, with our conscious mind, push our subconscious to actually grow and be what we need it to actually be. But they are in love. You cannot tear them apart. The more that you try, the more that they cling to each other. And they are in a state where everything is magical. Just being in each other's presence, that's all they need. The world can be going to hell in a handbasket and they don't care because they're with each other. And that's what the union of these two loves does to the psyche. The problem is that they did not choose to love each other with both kinds of love. They are allowing their psyche, their subconscious mind, to get both loves back into Storge. Storge is the union of these two loves by the psyche. The next kind of love, the one that we'll talk next week about, is the kind of love where these two are united, but not from my psyche. It's me, it's my consciousness, the one that unites these two kinds of love. And that is magical. That is a state of bliss. So if you look back in your life, and you will find spots in your life where you experience the falling in love part. It could be with a person, it could be with your job, it could be with your paycheck, it could be with your kids, with your own kids. There is moments in your life that you get to a state of bliss, but it's created by your subconscious mind. It's not really a state of bliss out of consciousness. It's born out of unconsciousness, and that creates a lot of problem because it's out of control. That's basically what it means. Whatever it's allowed or created by my subconscious mind, it's basically out of control. It controls itself. And that's why we suffer because of love, and that's why we kill each other because of love, because we are using the love of the subconscious or the unconscious mind. And that's the biggest problem that we have in love. We don't know how to control it. It ends up controlling us, and then we hate each other because of love and things like that. So philia, I'm going to give you an example. Philia is a kind of love that is like brotherhood. It's like I choose to love my friend. I'm choosing who my friends are, and I decide to love them. And this is not attached to any need of creating things. This is the love or the energy of it's already created by an external factor, maybe. So an example that I want to give you is this. Let's say I'm going to enlist in the army. I'm going to enlist in the army because of Storge, because I have a certain love for my country. I love my country. I love it because that's what I know, but I also love it because I desire to keep the country as is, or to keep it safe from the invaders or from whoever. So I have love and desire in the same place, and I decide I'm gonna do the right thing, and I'm gonna enlist in the army. And I go into the army, because of Storge. Let's say my country is at war, so I decide to fight for it, and I go into war because of Storge. But when I'm in the trenches and when I'm fighting, I don't stay there because of Storge. I stay there because of Philia. When I'm in the trenches and my life is at risk, I'm not gonna keep fighting for a flag. I'm gonna keep fighting for my brother in arms, for the person right next to me. Because now we only have one goal, one thing in mind, that is to keep myself alive, which is the same goal that he has. We share the same interest at that point. We don't care about what things are going on in the politics or the economy or anything like that. We don't care at all about that. We only care about not dying. And I share a trench with 6 or 10 or whatever people, and we have the same goal, just one, and we share it, and we become affiliates of the same purpose. We have only one thing in mind. We become an inseparable group, and that is the love of Philia. Now it doesn't matter if my brother in arms, if my soldier, it's from a different religion, or if he has a different skin color, or if he has somewhat different ideology. It doesn't matter. At that point, we share the same thing, and we love each other with Philia. Eros, on the other hand, is the love of desire, and that happens instantly. Philia takes a lot of time. You work up your way to Philia. By the time you love a friend like a brother, you choose to love a friend like a brother. We have that ability, but it takes time. It takes a lot of external factors to help you build that. And like in war, it's very easy because you are in a place where you have no choice but to share the same goal as the person. And Eros, that one is a love that is born instantly. It's like a flash. The thing is that because it takes a lot of time to build up, it takes a lot of time to actually die down. This is hard to kill, this kind of love. Eros, it starts up like that in a second, but it also dies in a second. And not one of them is better than the other. We need both. We need to explore our own lives, and for that we need desire. We need to explore our options. We need to expand. We need to learn new things, and we need desire. But we also need to learn how to build the love that lasts. And so now, knowing this, if I ask you what kind of love do you want in your marriage, and well, knowing that this is the love that it lasts and this is the love that dies very fast, you will probably say, well, I need Philia. Well, not really. In marriage, you need both. Because if you have these, and this is actually the problem in most cases, they love each other. They love each other to death. But they don't desire each other. And that is a problem. That is a problem because they fell in love because of Storge. Their subconscious mind made them fall in love, but they don't have no control over Eros or even over Philia. So when this dies down by itself in a few months or a few years, they don't know how to ignite it back, and they are just at the mercy of what goes on in their emotional lives, and they end up loving each other very, very much, but desiring somebody else. And this happens in marriage, this happens in your school, in your job, in every relationship that you have with the world, with yourself especially. You love yourself, but you don't desire yourself. You desire yourself, but you don't love yourself. Or even worse, you do not love or desire yourself. And this is where health comes into play, because if I don't desire to be healthy, I'm not going to be healthy. As much as I love the idea of being healthy or the idea of being fit, if I don't desire to actually do the exercise or do the actual diet, I'm just not going to be healthy. If I desire something, I'm probably going to be able to do a diet. I will lose the weight, but then I'm gonna gain that back because desire dies down, and you need both. You need both to actually have the body or the health that you want for your own job. You go into your new job with a lot of desire. You desire that new job, and you go into it, and you fall in love with it, and it's great, and then after a few months you don't love it. You desire that paycheck, but you don't love it, or you love your job, but you desire somebody else's paycheck. And this goes on and on throughout our whole lives. And we feel empty, we feel we are not able to create the reality that we want, and it's because we don't know how to get these two things together. We experience these two things in the same place just by the mercy of the subconscious mind. We get thrown into places where we fall in love with an idea, we fall in love with a person, we fall in love with a job, a car, a house, but then we fall out of love just as easily because it's out of our control. And well, what else can I tell you? Philia and Eros, those are the two components of the Storge. We learn to split them up, and then we don't know how to get it back together, and we just allow our subconscious mind to put it together in the same place. And the subconscious mind is at the helm. It's controlling our love life, and we end up struggling throughout our whole lives. Thank you for watching. Next week we'll be talking about the actual process of creating the love that you have to have in order to shine, in order to have life, in order to love everything about your life, and just have it the way that you want it. But anyway, that'll be next week. Thank you for watching, and have a blessed day. Bye.